What actions must we take towards achieving collective visions for the year 2100? The Impressions Project develops sets of pathways which aim to move society towards visions of a sustainable future. Through a series of participatory workshops combined with qualitative and quantitative analysis, pathways have been created for 4 case studies at different scales: Europe, Scotland, Iberia, and Hungary.
So we had Hungary, 2 municipalities in Hungary. We had Iberia across the border with Spain and Portugal. We had Scotland, we had the EU. We even went to Central Asia and all the way back, bringing those insights back. So this is extremely complex. And bringing all that together was challenging but enormously insightful.
Pathways connect long-term visions for sustainability and resilience. Where do we want to be in the future? With possible courses of action, how do we get to the future we want? As visions have multiple elements, pathways inevitably address multiple policy domains, sectors, institutions, and scales. The pathways have been created by combining stakeholder input with preparatory and analytical work by the research team. Stakeholders were selected based on their deep knowledge and expertise on relevant and location-specific issues. The stakeholders ensure pathways consider expert views and are relevant to decision-makers. The research team provided qualitative and quantitative analysis, which refined and enriched the pathways. Stakeholders were initially asked to identify actions that contribute to achieving their vision. Actions were then clustered into strategies and pathways. Actions are specific activities that are carried out by one or multiple stakeholders at a specific point in time. Strategies are a bundle of actions grouped to focus on people, nature, markets, or technology. The pathway, consisting of multiple strategies, is the overarching pattern of change that works towards achieving the vision. For example, one element of the vision for Europe in 2100 includes protection of ecosystems and resources. One pathway to achieve this vision element is to strengthen environmental policy. Strategies within this pathway include promoting the protection of nature, mainstreaming nature-based solutions, advancing integrated land use planning with ecosystem services frameworks, and adopting an holistic approach to water management. Actions within the strategies include enhance storm water management and water retention, implement forest protection policy and establish laws to plant new forests, increase protection of species that require specialized habitat, taxes based on environmental impact to fund bonuses for green activities and products. 3 pathways were common in all of the case studies and scenarios. Together, these pathways contribute towards achieving the long-term vision for a sustainable and resilient Europe at multiple scales. The pathway to shift towards sustainable lifestyles advocates for a cultural change in ways of living, commuting, producing, purchasing, and learning. The pathway encompasses strategies that include education, regulation, local community support, and awareness raising to encourage sustainable production and consumption. For example, in Iberia, actions to shift towards a sustainable lifestyle include reducing the consumption of meat, refocusing education on sustainability, not competition, and introducing time banking. The pathway to establish good governance systems for sustainability puts in place the conditions for participatory, transparent, learning-based and multi-level governance in Europe. It strengthens international and transboundary collaboration for sustainability and decentralizes decision-making to reflect local opportunities and needs. For example, in Scotland, establishing good governance includes strengthening local democracy with a learning-by-doing approach in schools and with citizen juries, and promoting a sharing economy. The pathway to promote integrated and sustainable resource management shifts towards context-sensitive, multifunctional and efficient resource management for environmental protection, resource security and self-sufficiency. For example, in Hungary, actions include adopting a comprehensive water management plan, switching to drought-resistant crops and livestock, and adopting a climate strategy with a yearly action plan for municipalities. In each scenario, the pathways bring us closer to the vision for the year 2100. However, in some scenarios, it's easier to achieve the vision than it is in other scenarios. In the first European scenario, where there is commitment to sustainable development, we are close to achieving elements of the vision even before the pathways are implemented. This can be visualized in a spider diagram, where the outside edge of the diagram represents achieving the vision. If we add pathways, we get closer to the vision for most but not all of the vision elements. In contrast, in the second European scenario, characterized by economic woes and conflict between regional blocs, we are far away from our vision. The pathways move us closer to the vision, but not as close as in the first European scenario. The Impressions Pathways approach connects different ideas and strategies for achieving the visions, bridges different narratives and worldviews, and provides concrete guidelines for action and policy. It shows that there are multiple ways to achieve our goal of a sustainable future.
The knowledge that science can bring is put together with the knowledge and insights that stakeholders can bring, that comes from practice, from their view, from their way of doing things, from the knowledge of what works and what doesn't. We bring that together, and through that we get to solutions that could work and also that create a momentum for society really picking this up.
The pathways can inspire and guide action, but will never be considered final, because the future will remain uncertain, and we cannot create one blueprint plan for it. We need to remain flexible, take on new learning, and continue to update and revise the pathways. Keep watching to find out more.